If you've never faced that before and all of a sudden, bam, something comes up and it's a high level infraction and you don't know what to do, a lot of times you're going to go with fear, or like you're just going to run and get away. Yeah, a spirit stood before the Lord and said, I'll entice him. An evil spirit was going to go out there and turn these people, trick them or really entice them, with evil and let them veer off. And I don't know why, but I got to thinking about when I was back in med tech school, they had a thing called sync testing. So we had an ethics course, and they wanted to know, what would you do if you saw somebody sync test? And I was like, what in the world is sync test? And it's basically when you would take a sample, and instead of running the test on it and getting a valid result, you just dump it down the sink and just write down a result. So you can imagine if you're working blood work and you've got a condition of some kind, and I just go, boop, 6.5. That was what would happen, but it wasn't that they were worried about that particular me doing that. They wanted to know what I would do if I saw somebody do it. So they're wanting to know kind of what your character is, what's the behind the scenes of you. So if you had a noted scientist or the owner of the lab dumped a bunch down the sink and just wrote down the results and went on, what would you do? Are you going to snitch him out? Are you going to be a rat? Are you going to be a good human being and just turn that dude in? You're going to confront him, say, hey, you can't do that. What do you mean I can't do it? I own the lab. All right. So it's kind of it's a hairy situation. But, and then I got to thinking about sync tests can happen in any profession. It's not just the medical. Like, that happens all over the place. And, okay, I guess it's not life or death, but it's greed, any kind of greed, lying in any situation. And then what do you do when you see it happen? If you see somebody take a little cash out of the drawer or swipe the change over in a pocket and take it with them. And then what do you do? Not that you would do it. What do you do when you see it happen? And that's where the ethics part come in. What do you do when you see stuff like that happen? And those are tough. Like, those are very confrontational, and people don't like confrontation. But those are confrontational situations. Now you're either guilty by just association because you know what's happening, or you're gonna, what are they going to think about me, or am I or what? How's this going to work out for me? And it all runs back to peer pressure and group think and herd mentality or mob mentality. Like, that's just, you get sucked into that stuff, like that garbage that happened at the Capitol, like the garbage that happened in Washington, where there's just a group of people do stupid stuff. And like, the more people, it seems like the bigger stupid gets. Somebody's like, yeah. And the next thing you know, it's like, yeah. And then the next thing you know, they're charging through the barricade, just doing crazy stuff. Take lives. I mean, actually kill people, but trampling on them or what, but do really stupid stuff that if you set me down by myself, there is no way, like, I would take a bullet before I would do something that atrocious or that stupid. Peer pressure, groupthink, herd mentality helps you make all sorts of bad decisions. The key in sync testing, groupthink, all of that stuff, the key to overcoming all that stuff is to know what you're going to do before you ever get in the situation. That's part of why we took the ethics class. They wanted us to go ahead and reason through how would we have to handle that? When you get taken off guard, you can make poor decisions about stuff. If you've never faced that before and all of a sudden, bam, something comes up and it's a high level infraction and you don't know what to do, a lot of times you're going to go with fear, or like you're just going to run and get away. Sometimes you'll stand up, but a lot of times you'll do the wrong thing. So what they wanted us to do in that ethics class is they wanted us to reason through this ahead of time. So know what I'm going to do before the situation ever arises. That is the key to keeping your character clean. Like you get up and you study you and know who I am, what I stand for, and this is how I'm going to act in the face of X, in the face of Y, in the face of Z. This is how I'm going to conduct myself. Make the decision before you're ever faced with the choice.